He killed someone, but he turned himself in. When the cops moved in to arrest him, he didn't panic for even a second. He actually stripped down completely and raised his hands high, because that was the safest way to avoid getting hurt. But getting caught was only the beginning of his plan, because next he was going to take on the entire justice system. 10 years earlier, the man named Sparta had a warm and happy family, until two intruders suddenly broke into his home. They beat him with sticks until he couldn't fight back, then tied him up tightly with zip ties. Their original plan was just a home robbery, but when one of them saw his beautiful wife, Darby changed his mind instantly. You can't fight fate. He stabbed Sparta in the stomach with a knife, then right in front of him, assaulted and killed his wife. And even worse, their 5-year-old daughter was also murdered. In that moment, Sparta was crushed by despair and pain, his entire family destroyed in one night. He put all his faith in the law, hoping justice could punish the two monsters. But the law didn't give him justice. Darby got only 3 years in prison, because at that time, the system had already become a ladder for corrupt people in power, and so-called freedom and democracy favored those who knew how to exploit loopholes. The prosecutor, Nick, was ambitious. His conviction rate was an insane 95%. He was the one handling this case. He could have sent both criminals to death row, but to protect his winning record, he agreed to a plea deal. Then he told Sparta. Darby agreed to testify against his partner. With the current evidence, the partner would get the death penalty. Darby would be charged with third-degree murder and serve 3 years. Sparta couldn't accept it, not after everything he saw. He watched them kill his wife and daughter, but Darby's lawyer argued that Sparta was badly injured, barely conscious at the time, meaning his testimony wasn't reliable. If that were true, the jury wouldn't believe him, and both criminals might walk free. So Nick suggested, if that's the case, at least punish one of them. Better than losing both. Sparta's heart went cold. This was Nick's idea of justice. Right and wrong were obvious, but he didn't have the courage to stand up for it.
Такова система правосудия. Все уже решено. Мне очень жаль.
In the end, Darby got 3 years. His partner got a delayed death sentence. After the hearing, Darby shamelessly shook Nick's hand, mocking how great the justice system was for people like him. Nick hated guys like that, but he couldn't do anything, and Sparta saw it all. Since civilized justice didn't exist anymore, he would bring justice in the most brutal way. 10 years later, the partner's execution day arrived. He was strapped to the gurney, a needle pushed into his arm. The straps tightened. Nick was there watching the execution. The warden gave the order, and the doctors flipped the switches together. As the 3 drugs started flowing, what should have been a peaceful death turned into agony. His veins bulged. He screamed in unbearable pain. Blood seeped through his skin. This was no peaceful execution. Someone had swapped the sedatives for chemicals that melt organs. Such a blatant murder immediately triggered an investigation.